welcome back to another video. I'm Tati and I've been away for a while. August has been a month. I started university again. I started my master's program, so I've been very busy, and also I've been working more hours like at my jobs. So I've been very busy and haven't had time to film or edit or do much of anything. So yeah, I've been away for a while, but I'm hopefully coming back more frequently. I'm gonna try to start mass filming and editing videos. So yeah, anyway, y'all don't care about that. Today I'm going to be doing my August wrap up. Even though I've had a very busy month, I was still able to read 10 books, which is quite amazing. So let's just get started and get into it. The first book I finished in August was The Raven King by Nora Sakavic. So The Raven King is the sequel to The Foxhole Court, which I read back in June, and I decided to start this in late July, so I finished it like in the first couple days of August, and it was okay. I liked it better than I did The Foxhole Court. I thought it was there was more development, but still this one was a big old yikes. I think, I don't know, 2 and 3 really fight it out for which one has the most trigger warnings that need to be said, but this one has some shit. Just a quick list of trigger warnings that you might want to look for, and this is like in no way complete. Sexual assault, rape, badly handled mental health and mental illness, torture, yeah, yeah, I think those are like the big 4 that you really need to look out for in this book. Yeah, it was better plot-wise. Yeah, it was better plot-wise than The Foxhole Court, but still nothing like fantastic. The writing's still not great, but I wasn't expecting it to be. There's some character development, but there could have been more. It was just, it was an enjoyable-ish read, but, you know, still nothing to write home about, definitely. I rated it 3 out of 5 stars. The second book I read was The King's Men by Nora Sakavic, and this one I did rate 4 out of 5 stars. I actually enjoyed this one a lot more than I did the first 2. I think also because this is like the end of the trilogy, so a lot of things are happening because everything needs to be tied up. So the plot moved much faster. There was a lot of things going on. The Foxes finally like have the championship game against the Ravens, and like a whole lot of crazy shit goes down. But yeah, it was definitely still very trigger warning-y, just this one more because of the amount of torture and violence that goes on. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed this one the most out of the entire trilogy. The next 2 books that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to talk about very briefly, and I'm not going to give my ratings because these are for my birthday vlog that I'm putting together from all the books that my friends got me for my birthday, and so I will be talking about them in depth there. But I will show them to you now and just give some quick thoughts. Third book that I finished this month was The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. This was Sammy's birthday gift to me, which, thank you, Sammy. If you've watched some of my other videos, you know that I've already read this and I loved it. And spoiler alert, loved it just as much the second time around. I really appreciated having a physical copy because I was finally able to annotate and see which forms Elizabeth Acevedo had chosen for each of the poems. I, when rereading this, did a combo of audiobook and physical copy, so I was like listening to the audiobook as I was like annotating and like following along in my physical copy. I love Elizabeth Acevedo, and I've read both of her books. I think I only have left to read With the Fire on High, which I will hopefully be getting around at some point before the year ends, but I make no promises about anything at this point. But yeah, highly enjoyed it. The fourth book that I finished in the month of August was The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This was Skylar's birthday present to me. This is one of Skylar's favorite books, and she really wanted me to read it, even though she knew that I was more likely than not gonna hate it. I don't know, I had thoughts on this book, and there were many thoughts on this book. I'm making, actually, this book is now going to be featured in 2 separate videos. It's going to be featured in my birthday vlog, and I am making a separate video about the accidental series binge that I did in August. Spoiler alert, I binged The Cruel Prince, The Wicked King, and Queen of Nothing in the span of about a week. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll talk about a lot about these books in that video, but in the birthday vlog I will be talking a lot about this book and what I thought about it. The 5th book that I finished in August was The Prince and the Dressmaker by Jen Wong. This was a graphic novel that I purchased at my local bookstore on a complete whim and on Mika's recommendation. And I absolutely loved it. It is a graphic novel about a prince in turn-of-the-century France, I think it is, and he basically likes dressing up in drag, and so he hires this seamstress who makes this really like provocative dress for like a socialite to go to a ball, and he sees the socialite in this dress and he automatically hires her to be his personal seamstress. This book is the cutest thing. I loved it from start to finish. The art style is beautiful. Wait, there we go. The art style is beautiful. It's simple yet so evocative, and like how the gowns are designed. Wait, I'm gonna find you a picture. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? So yeah, this was beautiful. It had a really wonderful friendship at the center of it, and this is definitely gonna turn into one of my comfort reads, much like Heartstopper, and I rated it a 5 out of 5 stars. El sexto libro that I finished in the month of August was Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. This was for our monthly live show that we do as we make our way through the entire Shadowhunter Chronicles. This month, we're doing this in publishing order, so this month we had to start with the Infernal Devices, and next month we go back to the Mortal Instruments with City of Fallen Angels. I rated this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I actually really enjoyed it. I saw a lot of progress in Cassandra Clare's writing and how the plot was weaved. My friends and I have a difference of opinion, of some of them saying that it's very much exactly like City of Bones. I actually defer because I don't agree, because I found City of Bones very forgettable, and I'm still thinking about this. I found Tessa to be an excellent main character, and she was everything that Clary could have been but wasn't, especially because they both come from very similar backgrounds and are both kind of thrust into the shadow world with no warning. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I got to meet a bunch of great characters. Jem is amazing. Will, I go back and forth on him. He's cool, but I go back and forth on him. I got to spend some time with the love of my life, Magnus Bane. I'm always glad to see Magnus anywhere he is. I'm finally met Camille. As a lot of you might know, I've already watched the show, so I know a lot of the characters, and I finally met Camille. Still not, I don't quite hate her yet, but I have a very, very deep dislike of her at the moment. So I expect to fully hate her by the end of this. Yeah, no, the characters are great. I will say Jessamine is a regular Lydia Bennett, and I don't fuck with that. I don't like a Lydia Bennett. No. So yeah. But yeah, I highly enjoyed this. One of the things that I like about this series is that, about the Shadowhunter Chronicles in general, is that I know the world so well by now that it just like, it feels comfortable to go back to it in a sense, which I really enjoy. So yeah, I give this a 4 out of 5 stars, and I can't wait to get back to the Mortal Instruments and City of Fallen Angels. Mostly I just can't wait to go back to Magnus and Alec. The 7th and 8th books that I finished in the month of August were The Wicked King and Queen of Nothing. Like I said, I'm going to talk about these in depth in a later video, but some thoughts. The Wicked King. It was okay. I think I enjoyed it more than The Cruel Prince, but still not by much. I kind of thought that Jude's loss of power at the end of the book was her own fault. She was so afraid of losing power over Carton the entire time that instead of actually trying to influence power outside of, like, with just through Carton, she just tries to keep a strong hold on him, and that is what eventually leads to her losing the power that she has. So really, she shot herself in the foot with that one. So yeah, I don't know. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. And then Queen of Nothing, I actually enjoyed it more than the other 2 books. I was actually entertained for this one, and I was intrigued as to what was going to happen. I didn't quite know how it was all going to turn out. So yeah, I more enjoyed this one than I did the other 2, but I still rated it a 3 out of 5 stars. It's a solid 3 for both of them. But yeah, I will talk more about my thoughts on the Folk of the Air trilogy in a later video. The 9th book that I finished in the month of August was Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. So you may or may not know that this is my favorite book. I love this book with a passion, and this time around, instead of physically reading it, I listened to the audiobook. So I'm gonna put this away now. And I really love this book. I'm now 4 readings deep into it, and I keep finding new things that I love about it. This was my first time listening to the audiobook, and it was an experience. The narrator does such a great job of capturing the characters and the humor of this book, and I was near tears during Alex's coming out speech. I have no words to describe to you how much I love this book, because it is just fantastic, and I see so much of myself in it. It's an experience all around, and I love it so much, and it was a great reread to do. And it was just, oh, it feels like comforting coming home, honestly. It's just, I love it so much. Needless to say, 5 out of 5 stars. For my 10th book of the month, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I recently started my master's degree. So throughout the next couple months, you're gonna be seeing a lot of maybe out of left field books that I will be reading for my classes. The books that I read for classes, I will include them in these videos, and you can look at the I will include them also in my Goodreads. But as a general rule, I do not rate books that are assigned to me to read for school, because I read them in a very different mindset than I do books that I pick up on my own. These books, I tend to be a pretty critical reader, but these books, I go a little bit beyond that. I'm even more critical, because I am reading them for a class and I am discussing them for my course. So I will not be rating them, but I will be talking about them. So the 10th book that I finished in the month of August was The Tempest by William Shakespeare. I read this for my Shakespeare and Cognitive Rhetoric course. It is the first play that we read for this course, and I enjoyed it. I've read a lot of Shakespeare in the past, both his comedies and his tragedies, and this one was kind of out of left field. This is also the last play that Shakespeare wrote, so it's kind of different from the others. This one, I wouldn't even classify it as a tragedy or a comedy. It's more of like a tragicomedy, actually, because something very tragic happens towards the beginning, but then it gets more lighthearted as the play progresses, and the ending of the play is very much like those of his comedies. So definitely a tragicomedy. I wouldn't exclusively put it in either one of the categories. The characters were good. I thought the progression of the play was fine. Of course, Shakespeare does use insta-love, as he does in all of his plays, which I'm not a fan of. But he is definitely the master at. So yeah, those were all the books that I read in the month of August. I hope to be doing a lot more reading, both personal and for school, in the coming days. And yeah, thank you for spending this time with me. Like, comment, share, come yell at me in the comments about all the things that I read and all the things that I shouldn't read, and all my thoughts on all the things. See you in the next video. Okay, bye.